Hello, everybody. Good evening. Good evening, and welcome to this stream. As usual, I want to share updates with you on the ongoing protest in Nigeria, and just a very interesting story that just broke in the country, and I find it very, very relevant, and hence the need for me to do this stream just to share it with you. It will probably help most of you understand better why Nigerians are protesting and why the protest has gone on for this long. If you're tuning in, share the stream. Let's get more people in, and before we start the conversation properly, I just want to say thank you all so much for the support, for always tuning in, for sharing your own perspectives and insights, adding to the conversation each time I come up here. Thank you all so much. You can see the title of the stream. That's what we want to talk about today, because the whole protest has been going on in the country, has a bearing on the appearance of Nigerian youth. For those of you who missed the previous streams I've done, just a bit of background to the whole story, the whole SARS protest and all. SARS is an acronym for Special Anti-Robbery Squad, a unit of the Nigerian police force that was set up to tackle issues of armed robbery, another violent kidnapping, another violent crimes in the country. Since then, the unit has been operating, but as the years went by, there has been allegations of indiscriminate arrest, extortion, extrajudicial killings, and brutalities perpetrated by members of this unit, SARS, on innocent Nigerians. So they will just stop you in wherever situation they find you and just extort you, or just commit acts of brutality against you. And this has lingered for a very long time now. Nigerians are not happy about it anymore. The worst is the extrajudicial killings that these SARS officers have carried out against countless of Nigerian citizens. So Nigerian youth have taken to the streets to exercise their their rights to peaceful protest. So that has been going on for about a week and some days now, just calling for the SARS unit to end. And the Nigerian government, that is the Nigerian police force, took action and made an announcement that the SARS has been dissolved. And then a day after, the Nigerian police made another announcement saying a new unit has been formed to replace SARS. And this new unit is what? Special Weapons and Tactics. So that's the new unit that has been formed to replace SARS. And this SWAT is going to, investigate issues of special weapon crimes involving special weapons and other related crimes. And Nigerians are not having it. Nigerian youth, they say, why so swiftly? SARS was dissolved. The following day, you set up another unit to replace SARS with a name that is, that sounds even more deadly than the SARS itself. And what Nigerian youth said is, this new SARS or SARS should be dissolved, and whatever unit is going to be formed to replace SARS, the officers have to undergo some trainings and psychological evaluations to ascertain that they are fit and capable of securing lives and properties, which is the primary duty of the Nigerian police force. So the Nigerian government put out a statement saying the demands of youth have been taken into cognizance, and the members of this new unit, this SWAT, are not going to be members of the defunct SARS unit. They are going to undergo trainings, and they are going to, a lot of those functions that the Nigerian police listed that this new SWAT is going to do. But Nigerian police, yes, and another thing Nigerian youth demanded was an investigation into the allegations of extrajudicial killings and compensations for families of those that were killed by SARS. Nigerian government hasn't really said much about it. The only thing we've heard them say, the announcement they made is they have formed a commission of inquiry or a committee of inquiry to investigate the allegations, but nothing is said about the what you call it, compensation that Nigerians are demanding. And another thing we need to understand is the so-called committee that the federal government has said they've set up to investigate these allegations. We have the National Human Rights Commission in Nigeria, and that's the commission that is charged by law to investigate issues of human rights abuses, human rights violations, and to make sure they are addressed and justice is served. So the concern now is, why do you have to set up another committee to investigate matters that you already have a legal government body that is supposed to investigate? So a lot of this lip service has gone on for years. So now you no longer trust the government. When the government say A, the youth are taking it word for word and scrutinizing their words and throwing back questions at them. That is how much is going on in the country as I speak with you. One thing is the youth have remained resolute. What really prompted me to do this stream this evening, as you can see in the title, is the story that is trending in the country at the moment. I know that a lot of people might have, raised eyebrows about the whole story, that, oh, why is it happening, especially for, Pan-Africans who want to see African startups thrive in the on the continent, and become big companies. That's my dream. That's my hope too. But just within the context of this SARS, these police brutalities and the ongoing end SARS, end SWAT protest, I want us to have this conversation from this angle. Now, these young guys that you see on the thumbnail are Nigerian youth. Two of them, you can see one has dreadlocks and the other does not have dreadlocks. Why am I emphasizing the issue of dreadlocks? Some of the major targets of this SARS brutality in the country are young Nigerians, especially men, who have dreadlocks. So the moment they see you have dreadlocks on your hair, they assume or they suspect that you are a criminal, and so they harass you and all. And I'm not saying it's only people with dreadlocks that SARS harass. No, even people with low haircut and supposedly responsible looking people also get harassed by SARS. But some of the major targets are young Nigerians with dreadlocks. But this, you can see on this thumbnail, a young Nigerian who has dreadlocks with his friend. They started a company, a tech startup in Nigeria called Paystack. And Paystack is a digital platform where you can send and receive money. A lot of companies in Nigeria have been using this Paystack platform for years now. I think they started a company about 5 years ago, and this company has grown. Individuals and companies, corporations use this Paystack platform to do transactions, send money, receive money, in and in the country. So why the big deal about it? This evening, news broke that an American company by the name Stripes has acquired this Nigerian fintech startup that was started by these two young Nigerians right here in the country in Lagos. Stripes has acquired this company for the whooping sum of $200 million. That is how much these two young Nigerians have sold that company for. So the whole conversation now is, these are young Nigerians. One is wearing dreadlocks. All they needed to do to start this company was a laptop. They needed their laptop to start this company. So imagine the question now. Imagine that these two young Nigerians were stopped 5 years ago by SARS officers, and because one had dreadlocks on him, the other one had a laptop. or they probably were together, one having dreadlocks, one carrying a laptop, they would have automatically been profiled by the Nigerian officers, these SARS officers, as criminals, and this potential would have been cut short by now. What the government failed to do for them, these two young Nigerians sat down, used their skills, used the knowledge they've acquired, probably self-trained, to build a company from scratch. Today, they've sold that company for the whopping sum of $200 million. That's how much they've made. What the government of Nigeria failed to do for them, they took the initiative to do. So just let's now, of all these youth that SARS officers have killed because they probably had dread, or they saw them with laptops or using iPhones and all of those things, those ones that have been killed, let's imagine the potentials that have been wasted, that have been cut short, that would never be recovered because of the brutalities of officers of this Nigerian police unit, the defunct SARS, now SWAT. These are the questions that we are asking, and that is why we are saying end SARS, end SWAT, reform the Nigerian police, investigate and prosecute officers who are found guilty of extrajudicial killings, extortion, and brutalities against citizens of this country. Having dreadlocks is not a passport, or is not an identity marker for a criminal. Carrying a laptop, I'm not saying that there are no criminals in the country. There are criminals every So imagine that these young people were stopped, and I'm not saying that there are no criminals. Like I was saying before, there was that interruption. There are criminals everywhere, you know, but having a laptop on you or using a good phone, looking good, the reality on ground is a lot of Nigerian youth are working round the clock, day and night, to make a living, decent living for themselves. So the moment, okay, imagine these two young Nigerians now who have sold this company for a whopping $200 million, decide to get, for it, maybe they decide to buy good cars for themselves, amongst other things that they decide to do with their money. I'm just saying, let's assume. And then they are driving on the road. SARS officers stop them, and then they begin to explain. And these SARS officers probably don't find the explanation logical, because in their little minds, they cannot comprehend why you as a young Nigerian would be able to make such money, legitimately, and they decide to waste your life. It is that serious, it is that bad. That is why we are crying day and night. That's why we are sleeping on the streets day and night. That is what is going on. People don't go home. People are on the street crying day and night. End SARS, end police brutalities, reform the Nigerian police force. So stop stereotyping us as citizens, as youth. And females are not exempt. Females are targeted, males are targeted. It is the same thing. So if you're a Nigerian watching this, please join the protest. Even if you don't want to go out on the street, use your social media, join the conversation. If you don't have anything to tweet, retweet the tweets that are being posted by other Nigerians, retweet them. Let's make this as as sustainable as possible. Let's gather all the attention, national and international, that we can get to push this. I mean, we have a lot of issues, but we are tackling one at a time. As I speak with you now, there are internally displaced persons in my state, Benue State, people who have been displaced from their households, from their communities, because of herdsmen banditry attacks in their communities. They cannot go back, but that's a conversation for another day. So when we tackle these issues, then this evening, the Nigerian army released a statement, a threat, we'd call it a threat, saying their loyalty is to the president of the Federal Republic. I'm like, seriously? So they are not going to take any, oh, what is that statement? If that they are not going to tolerate any people trying to cause any let me read a thing. This is a statement from the Nigerian Army, HQ Nigerian Army, that the Nigerian Army wishes to reassure law-abiding citizens that it is highly committed to the sustenance of peace, security, and defense of democracy in Nigeria. Nobody is coming after democracy, people. We are only asking that our lives be secure, that we should be able to go about our normal lives as citizens of this country without the fear of threat from the security agencies that have been set up to protect our lives and our properties. As a responsible, law-abiding organization, the Nigerian Army reaffirms its unalloyed loyalty and commitment to the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, and the Constitution of the country. The Nigerian Army hereby warns all subversive elements and troublemakers. So Nigerians who are protesting for their rights now are the supposed troublemakers, or who are they referring to desist from such acts, as it remains highly committed to defend the country and her democracy at all costs. The Nigerian Army is ready to fully support the civil authority in whatever capacity to maintain law and order and deal with any situation decisively. All officers and men are directed never to be distracted by anti-government forces and agents of disunity. We are not anti-agents of we are not anti-whatever democracy agent that you're referring to. We are just calling. We just want to live. We just want to thrive in our country. We just want to feel safe and secure. That's all we are asking for. The protests have been peaceful. The protests have been going on in the country. Nobody is armed and going out there. It's just peaceful, and the message is clear. End SARS, end SWOT, reform the Nigerian police, stop police brutalities, and then let there be justice for families of victims of SARS brutalities. Those are the demands that we are making. Those are the demands we are making. So these are the things that are going on. Having dreads, now the world is evolving. Technology has advanced and is still advancing. This is why we are protesting out there. This is it. Things are changing. Technology has evolved, is changing, and we not all of us will have those white collar jobs or look a certain way that fits the conventional definition of, normal responsible people. There are people in the creative field who do not necessarily have to dress with suit and tie all the time. So those jobs that are considered not normal or conventional are still legitimate jobs, because things are changing. We have social media influencers who charge good amounts of money to advertise for companies. So imagine that a SARS officer stops you, or stops a social media influencer, for instance, and check their account balance and see the money. They begin to ask, how did you make this money? You tell them, I'm a social media influencer. Their warped minds will probably not understand what social media influencer is, or what they do most: extort you. They will lead you to the ATM and ask you to withdraw money and give them, or transfer to them. People who are meant to secure you are the ones extorting you. So that's the pain. That's the pain that Nigerian youth are experiencing, that we are calling for change. All we want is change. Enough is enough. Imagine these two young Nigerians now who have made this amount of money. Imagine that they were stopped 5 years ago by SARS officers and killed, because probably one had dreadlocks and the other one was carrying a computer. I honestly don't even know the rationale behind this whole idea of someone carrying a laptop is a criminal. If you say you are trying to investigate and tackle cyber crimes are crimes that are committed in the cyberspace. So if you want to investigate, set up a unit in the Nigerian police force and charge them with the responsibility of investigating cyber crimes. Let them tackle it. You have a suspect, investigate them, get the information about them that you need to get, and then go after them, pick them up, and deal with them based on the crime they've committed and based on your investigation, the findings of your investigation, not harassing innocent citizens. Sometimes you're coming back from work, they stop you. Today I was having a conversation with one of my friends. She gave me her own account of her own encounter with the defunct SARS. They were traveling to attend their relative's wedding in their state. SARS officers stopped them on the way. For 3 good hours, they were parked by the road. Not that they committed any crime. They asked for their identity cards, they provided the ID cards, they asked the jobs that they do, they provided all the information, all the evidences they needed to see, but they still kept them by the road for 3 good hours and kept threatening them that if they dare make any calls or make any videos or do anyhow, they're going to kill them and throw them, dump them in the bush. Nobody is going to find out, nobody is going to see them. These are the same officers who are meant to protect people. This is why we are protesting, in case you do not know. This is why we are protesting, to end SARS, to end police brutalities. So if you're a Nigerian, like I said, even if you don't want to go out on the streets to protest, you can join the protest on social media. Tweet, retweet. If you don't have anything to tweet, retweet the tweets that other people have tweeted. That's so much that we can do. And it's so beautiful to see that for once, we Nigerians have united. We are looking out for one another. You go to the protest, people are cooking food and bringing to protesters who are camped there at the Lekki toll gate. People are giving out free data, free airtime, so that people can remain connected and be on the internet to continue to twist and, sustain the conversation around this protest, People are giving money. We have medical doctors, medical personnel who have volunteered their expertise on these protest grounds. They have first aid services readily available for people who might require them as they are protesting. We have lawyers who have volunteered and are there on the protest, who are giving, pro bono legal services. Protesters who are arrested because they are protesting, these legal personnel are bailing them out. And it's not just individuals. These are coordinated, support that Nigerians are giving in the protest, because everybody has had enough, and all everybody wants now is change. So this is how much, and everybody is getting involved. Celebrities are getting involved, galvanizing the people, mobilizing the people to sustain this. That is why the government is being responsive, albeit very slow and not satisfactory. But at least they are making some moves. And the resolve is to remain resolute until they address these issues. Let me look at your comments, the chats that people have been dropping. For this interview, I'll be joining you to speak. Okay, let me drop the link. I just saw it. So, Filer One, you can click on the link. I've just dropped it in the chat room so that you can join the conversation. I'm here. Welcome, Mitchell. Good evening, Grace. Watching you from the road. Oh, thanks, PG Rated. Greetings, sister. Give thanks. Thank you. Hailing from UK. Thank you so much. We suffer from self-hate. Logs are us. Exactly. That's the problem. Because there are certain people who are actually born with these looks. They're born, they grow up, and their hair just, that's how their hair is. Right from a very tender age, their hair begin to grow that way, and that's how their hair is. That's how it is, and that is very like rampant, especially in this southern part of the country. It's commonplace to see young people, children who are born with dreads, and they grow with it. I think in this southern part of the country, there's a sort of belief around, children who are born with dreads, that they are special children, or they are ordained. There's a sort of belief around it, so they don't even get to shave their hair. That's how their hair is. Or some people just decide to, dreadlock their hair to express themselves in that way. For those who cannot get the dreads from their own natural hair, they do extensions. Like there was a time during the lockdown or shortly after the lockdown that I had dread extensions, on my head. And I carried that hairstyle for about 2 months. And then they would profile me as probably a criminal. So it's self-hate. Let's normalize some of these things. Having dread should not be a criteria for being profiled as a criminal. No. Yes, SARS are armed robbers. Exactly. Brother Bob Marley says, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but us can free our minds. Exactly. Self-hate needs to stop. It needs to stop. Yes, I will. He says, stay strong, sis. Thank you. Grace, young lady, bring us live videos from the protest. I will. Like I mentioned earlier, I am not in Lagos at the moment. I've been traveling on official duties. I've been traveling. As I speak with you now, I'm speaking from my hotel room in Abuja. I'm not in Lagos. So the moment I get back to Lagos, I'm joining the protest live, and I'll be bringing you videos from the protest. So stay tuned. Everything you need to hear, you see live from the protest ground. You see images, videos, and you'll be hearing from the people I'll be speaking with. Stay safe. Don't save any SARS pictures or videos on your phone. I got robbed by SARS in 1996 at Victoria Island. So these are stories, countless stories that have been coming. So good evening, One. Welcome.
Yeah, good evening. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Thank you so much for joining.
That's great. That's great. With this issue, I'm totally hurt. Trust me. I'm so hurt and I'm so angry when it comes to our policemen doing this to us. And I think it is
Mhm,
not only Nigeria, but Ghana as well. It is just that in our country here, it hasn't become worse like it is happening in Nigeria, right? So
mhm,
I want to give you this short story. There was this man who closes work around 11 a.m. and then gets home very late. So whenever he comes home, there are a lot of boys in front of his house smoking and
mhm,
doing other things. And he knows some of the boys among those coming around his house all the night. And then he once told one of the boys that, look, the way you guys are coming here all the time, I know you people, you are area people, and I know you, you know me. But
mhm.
I think you people should stop. You can come here when I'm around, but you people should stop when I'm not here because robbers could mix up with you and come and rob me. So when the man said that, some of the boys among those people, the area gang didn't accept it. They felt the man has offended them. So one guy instantly brought a knife and wanted to harm the man. So when it happened like that, the man rushed in. He had a pistol and he gave a warning shot that, look, go back. I'm not here to harm you. This is my house. You can't be here from 8 to midnight, 12 to 1 a.m. It is never done anywhere. And this is in front of my house. So when it happened like that, there were police around. So they gave a warning shot. When the police heard the gunshot of the man, they also came around giving warning shots to know where the gun is coming from, where that shot was coming from. And then the man boldly came out to complain to the military that this is the issue that is happening. Every night, this is what I see in front of my door. And today I warned them and they wanted to stab me. And there is a particular guy who wanted to do that. When the military came around, do you know what they told the man? What job does he do that he closes 11? And how did he get his money to even buy the car he is using? You know? And the man was like, this is what I do. This is what I do. They said, look, one military man said in the car that he said it in our local language that this man is talking too much. If not for anything, we could have gunned him down and leave. At the end of the day, when the story comes out, it is robbery. Look at this.
Imagine.
You see? So and in Ghana here, let me tell you this. It is a fact. They admit people into military national security services without they having no knowledge and idea about what is supposed to be. It's like you have no idea about being in the military. They don't train them to that extent. They need a psychological teaching. They don't do most of these things. So you know that, in Africa, there's something we call who you know,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So
Yeah.
me, as I'm here, if my uncle is let's say a military officer, I can just go and talk to him and say, Uncle, I have a friend who is very fit for the military. I think you can push him instead. You know? Then they push the person there. So when the person goes in there, he didn't work hard to get that position. So they misuse it. I saw a certain comment online from a Ghanaian. Do you know what she said? She said, my brother is a police officer, but whenever it is his time for duty, he tries not to be corrupt, but his mates who work with him always fight him. You know? So we
Mm-hmm.
have some police officers who are trying to do the right thing. But you see, imagine five policemen on duty. It is only one person that is not corrupt. Do you think it's going to survive? No.
No.
You know, even some of these policemen shoot their own colleagues and report
Mm-hmm.
the case as a
Casualty.
robbery attack or something like that.
Yeah.
And this is one of the things that we are battling. Even me myself, I remember one time like that. I wanted to post something to England, so I went to DHL. When I was coming back, I was in a taxi, and uh, I love beard so much because I always have my beard there. And then the policeman, a patrol car, I don't know where they were coming from. They just stopped me in public where people were very, busy. They stopped. Hey, park the car, park the car. So we were sitting in the car, and then I told the driver to roll all his glasses up and open the doors. You get it? So
Mm-hmm.
when we did that, I was the first person to come out. I came out and the man asked, what do you have in there? And I asked him, what is he looking for? So he said, don't try to be stubborn. What do you have in your pocket? And I asked him again, what are you looking for? Now, he started getting angry. What I was expecting was, firstly, he didn't even greet. Secondly, he didn't even come in a peaceful way. Do you
Yeah.
get it?
Yeah.
Now, when the driver came out, he told the driver that he should open his car for him to check. And I told the driver that, look, don't do that. Check the car and let him watch, because they've been plotting. In Ghana, they say hemp is illegal, weed is
Mm-hmm.
illegal. So if you
Yeah.
give them that little chance, they plot the thing in your car and tell you
Yeah.
that they found it in your car.
So if you give them that little
So when it
chance,
happened that way,
they plot the
when it
thing in your
happened,
car.
when it happened, when it happened that way, I just explained to people who were surrounded and watching that this is what our people have been doing. And they should be careful not to stop anyone just like that, because some of us, we are very smart and educated. You stopping me in public to think you want to get me tensed and plot something against me is a bad idea, because I
Mm-hmm.
explained everything to people. Now, do you know what? An officer in a police car now alerted the guy, which is the young officer, that hey, leave those two boys and let's go. Which means they had something different. They had a different agenda,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And
Yeah.
they told me that I look like a criminal. And I asked him for what reason. He said, yes, criminals have this kind of hairstyle and they have this kind of beard. And I asked him, what qualification that accepted you? What qualification do you have that got you into this police uniform? Then he
Mm-hmm.
began. He got angry, and he started using his gun bottom to hit
Mm.
me. And I said, no, gentleman, I just asked you a question. I don't even think a diploma, you have it, but you have a position, and look at what you're doing to the citizens. So
Mm-hmm.
this have been going on and on and on and on, and I'm very, very angry with what my people is doing to the Nigerian youths. It is very sad. In Ghana here,
Mm-hmm.
when you have a dreadlock, do you know that nobody, you can't be employed in Ghana? I don't know about Nigeria, but in Ghana here, if you are dreadlocked, you can't be employed. No one is going to pick you to work for him,
Yeah.
unless maybe you want to get into the media. And even in the media, the people who understands that, yeah, dreadlocks are for Rastafarians and whatever it is, they themselves wouldn't. In Ghana here, I only know that the pure Rastafarian that is working, that has taught in University of Ghana and also been working in other places, is Black Rasta. Aside from that, it doesn't happen anywhere. So I keep asking myself, why do you accept Rastafarians in your country and not employ them because of their hair? I hope you get
So
it.
this,
Because, yeah.
yes, go on.
So, because to me, what I know is when you go to Qatar or wherever it is, you can't go and preach the Bible to them because they don't read Bible there. It is Quran they read. Therefore, they stop everyone who comes there with Bible because they don't want to hear anything from the Bible. What they know is Quran. So it is very understandable. But a country like this, you can't tell me that, oh, Jamaicans are welcome. Caribbeans are, look at the beyond the return, whatever
Mm-hmm.
it is, during this December. Look at the people that came into the country. So imagine we had Rastafarians who came here. They loved the country and they wanted to stay. And your constitution is permitting Rastafarians to stay in Ghana and work, right? But at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the day, when they apply for a job, you tell them that, Mr. Man, you can be employed because you have dreadlocks. Look at the
You
country
see,
we
so
live in.
those are the issues. Those are the issues that we are tackling. And I remember a video that was making the rounds on social media from one of Professor Pierre Lumumba's speech, where
Yeah.
he said, "The day Nigeria wakes up, Africa will not be the same." These are the conversations that we want to change. These are the narratives that we want to change. That having dreadlocks, I know this might sound very trivial, but little efforts, this is just the beginning. We'll begin to change things gradually, and then the whole narrative changes. Let it be known and accepted that having dreadlock is normal, and that is how some people's hair grow on their head. I,
Yeah,
I've seen, and I know countless people who have dreads, and that's how their hair grew from their head. That's how they were born.
exactly.
So not a crime, that does not make them out to be criminals. And then we tackle other more serious issues of bad governance and all, not just in Nigeria, across Africa. As I speak with you
Africa.
now, people in Namibia are protesting as well. The Congo is bleeding. These are the hashtags that have been trending,
Yeah.
and it just been sleepless nights. People in
In
Zambia, sorry, not Zambia, in Namibia, we are protesting police brutality as well, because they came out and decided to protest the increasing rise of femicide in the country. You know, femicide, killing of
yeah,
women, of girls.
yeah.
And then the Zambian police force, sort of the SARS in Nigeria, decided to crack down on them, but chasing at peaceful, armless protesters, shooting them down
Sure.
with rubber bullets, assaulting them, raping some. So these people have been protesting. That is what is going on in
You know,
Namibia.
in
Go
in
to the
in Ghana
Congo.
right now, I don't know. I don't know.
People have been,
In
yes,
last two
go on.
years, I don't know if you heard
So,
that.
sorry,
I think
final one. We
during the
have,
December.
sorry, just hold on. We have someone, Truth Matter has joined us in the conversation. Let him also
Sure.
add his perspective, and then we'll come back. Just hold your thoughts for a moment.
Okay.
Welcome to
All
the
right.
stream,
All right.
Truth Matter.
All right.
Hey, how you doing, sister?
I'm fine, thank you. Welcome. How are you doing?
I'm all
Okay.
right. I enjoy your show, and you went to my hometown, Ibadan. I'm
Oh,
from Ibadan, but I live
interesting.
in Canada.
I was at Ibadan
So
today
it's me.
as
I'm
well.
commenting it. Yeah, when you were
Yes, I
hitting
went
Amala
back
in
after
Ibadan.
the
Yeah,
Amala video.
you know. So you went to my area, that Bodija, where they sell it.
Oh,
I was there last year.
interesting.
You know what happened? Yeah, you know what happened in
Mm,
Nigeria? We let a lot of things go too
yes,
far. In 1996, I was robbed by SARS at Victoria Line in front of American Embassy. If you know the US Embassy very well, you know, it's a codicil. When you come into the US Embassy, it's a round close, it's a close, right? So it's
yes,
one way in, one way out. So the SARS, 2 days to Christmas. So I went to the embassy to go and get my passport. So the SARS, they park at the end of the road when you go Eleke Crescent. So they park at the end of the road and they are waiting for everybody that are leaving the embassies. So I was on my way because in front of the embassy, they don't allow you to park your car. So I was on my way to
yes.
go and get my car. These people, they just grabbed me from behind with gun. Before I know, they put me in their truck. They drove me. So they collect my wallet. They see my passport. They said, I'm a foreigner. Can you imagine it? So they saw my
Yes,
passport, my
that's
ticket, everything. Yeah. They're like, oh, you are a 419. These are the 419 boys. I said, listen, I'm not a 419. I was like, this is my passport, everything. I want to travel. This is my ticket. I have to travel next week. You know, they took my passport. They took my ticket. And in 1996, I have 100,000 naira with me that I want to go and change the money to US dollars. They took 45,000 out of that money. So they dropped me. They arrest me at VI. Guess where they went to go and drop me? In Ikeja.
ah
Yeah.
VI to Ikeja.
Yeah, VI to Ikeja. Just dropped me to Ikeja and dropped me and told me to find my way.
Hey God.
So when you look at it, but when I was telling my family today, because my wife, she's American, so they were asking me like, oh, how come you don't report to the government? I said, what government? So when you look at it in Nigeria, we have this kind of, we scared of, oh, SARS. But when you look at it, the SARS live in our neighborhood. We know them. They are the people that we know every day. But we know that this guy, he collect 50,000 naira as salary. How come he buy a truck? How come he buy this? How come he buy this? But nobody wants to speak about them. And when you look at the problem of Nigeria, it's not the only SARS that doing this. If you really what do they call it? If you really pay attention well, you know who is worse more than SARS in Nigeria, but a lot of people not talking about it. Nigerian Custom Patrol Unit. Nigeria Custom Patrol Unit kill people every day in Nigeria more than SARS. Last year they fire shot at us in Ibadan. They shoot at us. Last year in Ibadan. But a lot of people don't say this. Those custom, they are worse. If you go to Ibadan, all those border town, you will see them, they doing eye chasing, that, oh, the smugglers, but they're not after the smugglers. They're just killing innocent citizens, but nobody's saying anything. But people think SARS is the only problem we have in Nigeria, that obtaining people. Customs are worse too. If you ship container to Nigeria in front of you like this at the port, the custom will be stealing your stuff. And what can you do? 2 years ago, I shipped some cars to Nigeria. I was at the port when they were doing inspection. Do you know custom are taking my tomatoes? The tomatoes I bought from here, the kind of tomatoes, they were taking it. That, oh, they will see something to do salad. Can you imagine it? So Nigerian problem is not only SARS. We have an internal problem, individual problem. That's the problem in Nigeria. And Nigeria don't need restructuring. When you restructure Nigeria, but we still have a mindset of corruption, it's not going to change. That's the problem we have, because we are very corrupt. And the corruption is so deep that it's not helping us. If you know how many businesses that we are losing in Nigeria every day, because a lot of people are scared, they don't want to come to Nigeria. Because when you look at it, how can you import your stuff? How can you bring stuff to Nigeria? You have a proper papers, everything, but the custom, they have all this custom patrol unit. Even when you're driving from Lagos to Ibadan, you went to Ibadan, you will see how many checking points on the road. Did they make you feel like you want to travel again? From Lagos to Ibadan alone, there is more than 20 checking points. You understand what I'm saying?
From Lagos to Ibadan now, there are no checkpoints on the road anymore.
Oh, good. Last year,
yes, no checkpoint.
There is custom, there's mobile police, there's Nigerian army everywhere, and every stop they want money. If you don't want to give them, they will delay you. They will try to cock the gun at you. So the problem we have in Nigeria is every one of us, because you know I live in Western world, but I'm still a Nigerian. There's nowhere like home. That's where my dream is. I want to live back in Nigeria. I always come every 9 months because of this COVID-19. That's why I was in Nigeria this year. But every 9 months I'm in Nigeria, because that's where I've been here for 21 years. I've been in Canada. But when you get to stage, you're going to get tired of this. I don't want to be in this condition anymore. So there's nowhere like home. But when you want to come home, but you're not safe. And how can we change?
So that's why Nigerian youth, you know, the truth is we've all slept for way too long. And you remember the popular saying in our culture that the day you wake up or the time you wake up is your morning. So this is our morning. I believe this is our morning. That's why people are sleeping on the streets. Like the protest is now going on all over the country, not just in Lagos, not just in Abuja,
it's
in
everywhere.
just Delta State or your state. It's spreading across the country, and the thing is the same. Everyone is saying now that we are tackling police brutality, once we are done with this and the government addresses this, we are going to take on the next issue to tackle. So you see these protests, they are not going to end anytime soon. It's going to go on
they don't
for
need to
a
stop.
long time. This is probably going to go on for the rest of the year. I assure you of that. It's going to go on for the rest of the year, because it doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon.
No.
Because every day more issues are coming up and people are remaining resolute. You know, initially when this whole thing started, the government probably thought that, well, this lazy Nigerian youth, the way they call us, they say we are phone pressing generation.
But Nigerians are not lazy.
We are not lazy, yes. So now that we have remained persistent on the protest, this has gone on for over a week now, and it's still going. The numbers are increasing. The protests are increasing across the country now. So now they see that we are serious. It's not business as usual, and that's the power of unity, the power of numbers, the power of determination, and the focus. And the good thing is that Nigerians are mobilizing resources. I tell you what, you are not in the country, but what is happening in the country, personally, I am pleasantly surprised that we are united now more than ever. People are donating money. Nigerians in diaspora are donating money. I heard that about 30-something million naira has been raised already to support the protest. So when you go to the protest ground, they are giving out free data so that you can subscribe your phone and remain on the online, tweeting, retweeting. People are cooking food and bringing to the protesters on the ground to eat so that they can be sustained. A lot of these things are going on. people are, medical doctors and other medical personnel are volunteering their services free of charge for protesters that probably get hurt in the
They
process
get
and
hurt
all.
during the protest. Yeah.
Yes, during the protest. Now, apart from that, we have legal personnel, lawyers who are
Yeah.
providing pro bono services to protesters who probably get arrested in the course of protesting. So a lot is going on, and for me, more than ever, I'm so proud of being in Nigeria. Trust me. And the whole essence of this conversation is to highlight this success story of Nigerians with dreadlock and computer. So we need to debunk this stereotype that people with dreadlocks, or because you have a laptop on you, automatically makes you a suspect of of crime, or makes you to be profiled as a criminal. No, they
You know
started
what?
a company right here
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Nigeria,
And
building
it's
it
successful.
with their computer, with dreadlock on his head. Now the company Paystack, I didn't even know Paystack has been in the country for a long time. People have been using Paystack to send money, to make payments within the country. We have corporations that use Paystack. We have individuals that use Paystack, and today they've
Wow.
sold that company. Even though I feel bad that they've sold the company, they sold it to an American company, Stripes. Stripes bought the company for $200 million. That is what people are saying now. That imagine that SARS stopped these people a few years ago
And
because
claim
one
their
had
dreams.
dreadlock and the other one was carrying a laptop. They would assume that they are criminals and they will cut them short. They will kill them. That is what a lot of people are saying. Many of these young people that have been killed by SARS went to the grave untimely with potentials that would have changed this country for good. That
You
is
know, you,
people's anger. That is people's pain.
you know
And
the
I
problem we
see
have in
change
Nigeria?
coming.
We have a lot of ignorance and illiterate. That's the problem. You see, half education is a problem. You can't employ
Mm-hmm.
people that finish drop out of elementary school or drop out of
Yeah.
high school and put them in a force. You see, I live in Canada here. For every police in this country, you must have a university degree. But in Nigeria, they hire these people. Some of them are area boys on the street, but they hire them to be. So what do you think they're gonna do? That's the problem. Because even when you look in Nigeria, people were born as Dread. My last name is Dada. That's my family name, which means dread. A lot of people in my family were born with dread, natural dread. So if they decide to keep their dread, you're gonna say they are gangsters. Because your appearance doesn't, you can't judge a book by the color. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And you can't judge a book
Yes.
by the cover. But in Nigeria, we have this kind of ignorant people that everybody always feel like, oh, you are dead. Last year, I'll tell you, whenever I come to Nigeria, I have allergies, right? So I'll have a spray I put in my nose. So one time, I was in my neighborhood. I parked my car. I was in my car, inside my car. So I'm putting that spray because of the smoke of all those truck. So I always spray that spray in my nose. Do you know, people saw me, they went to go and tell one of my cousins that I'm using drug in the car. So you know how ignorant people are in Nigeria. They don't ask questions. So that's the problem we have. Have education. So they're like, oh, my cousin didn't say nothing. So after like 2 days, I was with my cousin. I bring that spray out. I started spraying in my nose. Oh, my cousin like, oh, is this stuff you spraying? People saw you. You spraying in your nose in your car. So they say you are doing drugs. I'm like, doing drugs? I said, listen, I have allergies. So this is what they call it. I use this spray because whenever I come to Nigeria with all this smoke, it always affects me. So that's why I use this spray. But people always want to judge you like, oh, you are this, you are this. But when we can, if we can change our mindset in Nigeria, Nigeria is the best place to live. Because when you look at it, when you keep on arresting people because they have a laptop, you're killing their brain. You kill it. Even in here, I have a son, 12 years old son. This boy will teach me. There is a lot of stuff this boy know about computers that me, I'm the father. I'm 47 years old. I don't even know what to do to it. I'll call him. Oh, can you show me how to do this? Because I believe in his knowledge. But in Nigeria, it's like we have people that kill knowledge because the politicians are corrupt. They don't do. In Nigeria, we don't put money in research. We don't do. And a lot of Nigerians make effort to better their life. But the government still yet employ people. They are tout just to harass people. I think like this is the first time I'm going to see Nigeria after 1992. If you remember in 1992, this is how we stand up to Babangida. If you remember that time, during Babangida era.
Now, I was poor. I don't know.
Yeah, in 1992, this is where we stand up. We stand up against Babangida for 3 months. We paralyze everywhere. Nobody goes to work after June 12th. Nobody goes to anywhere.
Okay.
This is what we did. That's why Babangida left that time. But this time,
Okay.
I know when Nigerians, you see Nigerians we have wanted, they will watch you first. They will see your move. But when they now see like you're
Yeah.
very suspicious, what do they call it? They will fight back. Because now,
Yeah.
it's not about SARS anymore. We want Buhari to go. Because this
Yes.
guy is a parasite. He's ruling us by tribal, which is not right. When you look at every parastatus in Nigeria, they're not even Hausa that dominated. It's Fulani. What of your other Nigerians? Are they not Nigerians? So everything is ruling according to tribe. Now you want to want to go and sign a loan contract with China. They want to build a train from what do they call it? From his state to Niger. Who lives there? From Katsina to Niger Republic. So when you look at it,
what business activities happen
Yeah, what
there?
business?
Why are you going to build that there?
But the eastern part of Nigeria is suffering. There's business. The Igbos. I'm not a tribalist. I want when Nigeria is better for everybody, it's better for me. I don't believe in because I'm Yoruba. You have TV. You are this. We are all in the same shoes. You understand what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I feel the Igbos when they have their own, the Igbos create business in Nigeria. They bring businesses. So how come you can't build a train from Lagos to East? Come on now. But you want to build a train. How many people go to North? Even the people living North, they all come to South and West. But we need to stop this tribalism behavior where we can't rule a country. Now, right now, Nigeria is not a failed country because it's my country and it's my homeland. It's not failed. But Nigerian government is a failed government. Because when you cost Nigeria, this is what a lot of people don't know. They will cost Nigeria is a zoo. This, but I always tell them, I told one of my friends, I'm not you call Nigeria a zoo, but your grandmother still live there. That means she's an animal too. Because that's my home. You can't call Nigeria a zoo. Let's talk to the government. The government is a bad government, but Nigeria is a country that.
The thing is, I think this whole calling Nigeria zoo started with this Nnamdi Kanu also. I think he's the one that started this whole Nigeria is a zoo. So that's even a conversation for another day. Is a conversation for another day. The whole thing now is, yes, we have issues. We have accepted as Nigerians, as Nigerian youth, that we have problems in this country, but we want to address these problems. We want these problems solved.
Yeah.
We want these problems addressed. That's why Nigerians are sleeping on the streets. People are sleeping outside. People are not going home. That is to show you how much resolve Nigerians have made to make sure things change. People are sleeping on the streets. I'm telling you, at the Lekki toll gate, people are not going home. People are eating there. People are sleeping there.
I watch a video every day. I have a Nigerian channel on my TV upstairs. I watch it every day. I watch on my phone. I watch Nigeria because you know why? I appreciate what everybody's doing. I'm more grace to you guys able, even though we're not there. But I already told my kids, I already told my family. I'm like, you know what? If it's come to us, we're gonna take harm against this government. I'll buy a ticket. I'm going to Nigeria to go and take harm and fight against this government because the injustice is too much in Nigeria. Because when you look at it, we are one of the smartest people. But how can we have stuff, but we are the one that's suffering every day? Come on now, how can a lawmaker in Nigeria make almost $30,000 to $40,000 a salary when other people when ordinary Nigerians don't even have basic amenities?
They have hardship allowance. Today we're talking about this same salary thing of senators. I said, so they realize that there's hardship in the country, and they qualify for hardship allowance. But the average Nigerian on the street,
what kind of hardship are they saying in their life?
They don't have the right to enjoy hardship allowance. So these are the changes that we want to see. Why should they be paid so much? I saw a tweet this evening that someone tweeted that if 500,000 naira a month is not enough for Nigerian senators or Nigerian lawmakers, then they should go and learn coding. They should go and learn coding because two Nigerian youth have made $200 million in a day for coding. what they've invested in, and they started up this business. Today they sold that business. Even though selling it is a conversation for another day, I would have rather preferred that they kept that business, that startup. They grew it to become a multinational business that, we can brag about. Just that we have Twitter, Facebook, we have PayPal, all of these other big
Yeah,
businesses, big corporations. They would have kept it and grown it to that
and
point where they will
yeah,
even employ other Nigerians, and even becoming a Pan-African business. But that's a conversation for another day. But the whole thing is here that because they have dread does not make them bad people,
no,
because
no.
what they needed was a laptop to build up their startup and their skill. So imagine how much more untapped skills, untapped talent that we have in this country, that if only the conditions are favorable for them, if SARS is not going after people and cutting short their lives, how much more we will thrive on this country, on this continent, and make things good for every one of us. Imagine how many jobs will be created by people who are using their skills, who are using their talents to build corporations, businesses that will employ other Nigerians and address the issues of unemployment in this country. These are the things that, the issues that we are trying to tackle with this protest. It's not just about police brutality, it's a lot of things. But the first thing now is the police brutality, because the truth is people who are alive that are going to work, that are going to change this country, that are the future of this country. So now we are only fighting to be alive. We are not
You
even
see,
asking for basic amenities.
I really 100% support what is going on. Is due is a deal is already even overdue, because when we can't speak, because we don't speak, that's why they're doing everything. Because these
Yes.
people, they don't respect us. Look at what happened during the COVID, how they bring the Chinese doctors in. Till today, we don't even know whereabouts of
Mhm.
those Chinese doctors. But you can't be fooling us.
Exactly.
A lot of time, you will borrow money. It's like you're selling our future. You're selling everything. We have everything in Nigeria. So what do we need a foreigner for to come and do everything? We have the brains. We have a lot of stuff. Even when you come to Western world, is Nigerian behind a lot of big stuff, big project. So how come in Nigeria the government can, because why? Because we have non-entity as people in government. They don't know anything. They have no clue about no government. But nepotism, they put their own family, everybody inside the government. So that's
Mhm.
why they run the country. If a Nigerian can sell they can have a company so $200 million. I mean, can you imagine it? But now Nigerian pride went to American pride, which we're supposed to keep. If we have a good government, America will
Mhm.
not allow you. America will not sell their company to. Look at what happened with TikTok and the US government. If we have a good government in Nigeria, that's what it's supposed to put in place. Like, nah, this is pride of Nigeria. You can't sell it. We're going to support you guys to grow this company. But
Exactly.
what do you expect when they don't even, the only thing they know is like, oh, just borrow money from China and we can put in our home pocket. So
Exactly.
but now I appreciate how Nigerian youth, they step up, because it's not about what they call it. It's our future. What they are doing now is for generations to come. Because let me tell you one thing: if something happened in Nigeria, a lot of people don't want to. They don't even want Nigerian in their country anymore. All this Western world, if you see the law they do, even for you, like Canada don't even want Nigerians here. But we feel can make our own country better. We don't have to be running everywhere. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Exactly.
The life in
We
Western
should
world is
stay
very
here.
dispersing. Whenever I come to Nigeria, I live here. I work out. I eat healthy stuff, but I still put on weight. But when I come to Nigeria, I eat amala, fufu, everything. By the time I go back, I lose weight, because Nigeria is my therapy. I always feel at peace whenever I step on Nigerian soil. But when we have a
Mhm.
bad government that pushing people away, that's why people are fighting back. As of today now,
Mhm.
can you imagine all African countries on American visa lottery? Do you know it's only Nigeria that took off the visa lottery? As of today, the US government.
But
As
you
all
know
the
what? I'm happy. You know what? I'm happy. In fact, what we even want is visa ban for these government officials that are failing to take action, especially with this police brutality thing. issue visa ban on them. When they ban us from going to other countries in the world, then we are going to sit down in this country and fix it. Because people think, especially these politicians, a lot of them, their children are not even in the country because they
They're
feel
not.
like they can steal government money and send their children abroad, so they don't care. So let's even start with visa ban for them and their immediate family members, so that they have no alternative. They cannot leave this country to go anywhere. Then everybody will realize that, oh, it's time to really fix things. That is what the common person is doing now, because a lot of us are not privileged, and we are not in government. We
Yeah.
are the ones to change these things so that this country can be beneficial to all of us. We are citizens. We have the right to enjoy all the amenities, all the utilities, and everything that this country needs to give us. We pay taxes. These are our rights. We voted them to serve us. That is why people are angry. That's why youth are protesting.
Yeah. Well,
Failawan,
it's a,
you have to say something. Here, you have been mute. You have to add
okay.
to the conversation.
Okay.
Yes, let
Yeah,
him add to the conversation, then we'll
Okay.
continue.
Okay.
Yes, I
yeah.
can hear
Can you
you.
hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So, as I was saying, I remember, I think last year a Canadian got lost in Ghana here, got missing, got kidnapped. You know, and then I remember one police officer saying that it is mostly those bad boys with dreadlocks, with those hairstyles that normally do all this kind of stuff. But could you believe that when, I don't know, they told we heard that Canadian Special Force came down to Ghana here to collaborate with the Ghanaian police officers to look for their citizens. And could you believe that when they caught them, they were nice and decent men? Could you believe that? And one was a popular bodyguard for one pastor in Ghana here,
Mm-hmm.
one of the kidnappers. You believe it? So
Oh, he has gone off. Okay. I'm
So,
trying to look at someone made a comment here. Can they ban government officials and their families? Exactly the point I was making, that they should be banned. Visa ban for them and their families. As Africans, we need to build our own countries. Exactly. We need to. Okay, he's back.
yeah, my
Welcome back.
internet just cut off. I'm back again.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
Welcome.
so when they caught all these people, to be frank with you, trust me, they didn't show the faces of the kidnappers on TV. They didn't, you know,
For
because
obvious
some of
reasons.
these people who kidnapped the Canadians were working for some huge people in Ghana here, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
that is why I keep telling people who live in the diaspora that, you know, you are only safe in Africa when you have money. Because when you don't have money, anyone can do anything to you and the government is going to keep quiet. Nobody is going to talk about it. Trust me. Nobody is going to talk about it. People were robbed in Ghana here in a VIP bus. You know, these long buses. About 30 people were killed, and they didn't talk about it. The government just kept quiet. Their own citizens. But recently, a minister of a delicate party got shot by armed robbers, and they are telling the citizens that if you can show wherever or whoever did this, we are going to give you 20,000 Ghana cedis, which is like $400, $4,000. And now the people in the country are now telling the government that they won't do anything, because when about 30 people died at the spot,
Mm-hmm.
they kept quiet.
They did
So
nothing.
why should one person die and we will be hungry for whoever that is responsible? It's not going to happen. So I think most of our TV stations, television stations that are government owned should try and educate people. They always
Yeah.
keep coming on TV educating people how to drive in Ghana here. I know one station like that is a government station, always teach people. When our new airport was built, They were teaching people how to drive through and come out and how the airport looks like. But they will never and ever have time to educate the citizens and the military, the national security and other personnel what it should be like when talking to a citizen or how to treat a citizen. They don't do any of this. You know, they don't do any of
And
this.
that,
And this is also another problem.
yeah, and that those are the things that for us here we are demanding that train these people, because they are armed as police officers to enforce the law, to protect lives and
Sure.
properties. I know this clearly right from elementary school when they were teaching us about government agencies and roles and responsibilities of government agencies and parastatals. These are some of the things they taught us even from time, that the police are meant to protect lives and city and properties. They are meant to enforce the law. You know, it is not their
Yeah.
duty to take the law into their hands to do extrajudicial killings. They just see someone and assume that this person is a criminal. The next thing they kill you. Those are criminal offenses. Those are human right violations. Those are the things that Nigerians are calling for an end to. We should be treated with dignity, and not just in
Yeah.
Nigeria, across Africa. Because I tell you what, there are some parts of Africa that you will go to, you will not be able to cough. Those citizens cannot cough. They cannot as much as say a word to criticize the government. It's as bad as that. And there are youth in those African countries keeping quiet and not taking action. It's not going to stop.
Yeah.
So I'm glad
You
that at
know,
least Nigerians have started speaking, because when we keep quiet, we enable these people. They thrive on our ignorance. There was something that Faz, the bad guy, posted this evening. Faz, by the way, is a Nigerian musician. He's a trained lawyer, but he's a musician. He sings. So he put out a
I think
video
it's
this
false, right?
evening. Yes, Faz, the bad guy. He put out a video. Let me play the. I'm playing it.
Is actually charged with the responsibility
He's talking
of
about the
handling
Human
cases of
Rights
human rights
Commission.
violation and ensuring prosecution of offenders. Now, this is the same Human Rights Commission that the federal government has asked to set up another panel to perform its functions. Okay. Do you also know that the Human Rights Commission has remained without a governing council since 2015? And by law, without this governing council, the Human Rights Commission cannot perform its functions. Is it that they don't know or they don't care about our human rights? That's another cruise. Do you know that there's something called the Police Trust Fund? In this Police Trust Fund, 0.5% of the total money in the Federation account is meant to go into that trust fund. 0.05 of the total net profit of all companies operating business in Nigeria. Do you know how much that is? That money is meant to go into the Police Trust Fund. There's a long list of some other things that are meant to go into the Police Trust Fund. Where is the Police Trust Funds? They are not being paid well. Their cars are not roadworthy. Police stations are completed buildings. Police have to convert exhibit for their personal use in the office. It's disgraceful, the state of the police right now. We have to start holding people accountable. That is the only way we'll be able to move forward. Catch this cruise. Do you know that the Human Rights Commission is actually charged with the responsibility of handling cases of human rights violation and ensuring prosecution?
Okay, so that's it. So you
Sure.
hear he's a trained
Yeah.
lawyer. His father is a human rights lawyer and activist. Femi Falana. He has been the strong voice of the legal this thing. What would I call it? The strongest legal voice as far as human rights violation, and they insisting on the rule of law to prevail in the country. So when he put out this video, it just went back to the whole issue, because one of the demands that Nigerian youth have made of the government, of the federal government, is to investigate the allegations of human rights violations and extrajudicial killings that the Nigerian police force SARS specifically, have perpetrated against citizens in the country. Now the government is saying that they are going to set up a panel of inquiry in the Human Rights Commission. So what SARS is saying in this video is, why do you have to set up a panel of inquiry when you already have a government commission, the Human Rights Commission, that by law is empowered to investigate these issues and to take actions and make sure the law has its way? So these are the lip services that they play. They try to play with us because they feel like we are ignorant. We do not know what the Constitution says. So they ride on our ignorance and they thrive. But the good thing is that we have people who are learned. We have people who are informed. And with the social media at our disposal, a lot of things are being brought to, to bear. People are becoming increasingly more aware of the rights and the provisions of the law and what to demand. And the government knows that, oh, this realization is dawning fast on the youth. That's why they are seemingly taking action and sort of responding to these demands that citizens are making. But it is not enough. We want to see concrete actions, not just lip service, So the more pressure that we are mounting, the more responsive the government is becoming. But we want to see expedited actions, not just putting out long processes and all. Why didn't they set up a panel to probably put in place implementation plans, implementation timelines to address this issue? They disbanded SARS today. The following day they announced SWOT. Why did they do that so fast? And then why is it taking so long for them to bring these officers to have been accused of these human rights violations to book? Why is it taking so long for them to identify them when they already know them? But we are out, all out. And we have the internet at our disposal. That is what we need to realize as African youth, that we have the internet, the world is watching. And we can only make change happen if we demand change. It's not going to drop on our laps. That's the truth. It's not going to drop on our laps. We have to take it by force. And that is what youth are doing now. And I love the support, the unity that, it's just beautiful what is happening now. Yes, truth matter.
Wow.
Like you said, you see the Nigerian government, they have this kind of games. They always play us because they know like, oh, Nigerians, they have no power. You know why they're doing this? If Nigeria is a country that you can bear harm, like United States, I dare you, Nigerian government will not try Nigerian citizens because they know that people will bring you to the stage of their house. But the problem is, when you look at it, I always pity this police because how can you be getting 50,000 naira as salary, but you see supporting this coward as a leader? This one, they are not a leader; they are misleaders. Because when you see a leader of a country, you will do something that you want people to follow you. You will do something that your country will be great. Why do you think all this Western world, a lot of people run here? They don't have what we have, resources, but they have the technical skill. They know how to brain drain another continent. When you come to Canada, it's full of Indians here. Indians own this country and Chinese because they make a program for them to come here. So they are the one in every power in every sector. But when you look, because Canada population is 36 billion. But when you look at a country like Nigeria, sometimes you go to some schools in Nigeria, it's very heartbroken. You like, this is school. It's like what you like. They don't do anything. So Nigerian government know how to play games because you can't do a reform. You ban SARS, you cancel SARS, but you bring SWAT. So what kind of game is that? You're playing on games. So what? From frying pan to fire. So what are you trying to tell us? It's from frying pan to fire. So we are not a criminal. Yes. Yeah, it's the same old game you play. It's the same trick. But now we're not going back. We are not going back because we're fed up. We're fed up of. We go somewhere, people stigmatize at us because we are Nigerian. Everybody, and it's not only Nigeria. When you go, even I'll tell you this: in Canada, here in 2001, a police stopped me because I just bought a car. There's no license plate. Do you know the police? He knows there is a barbing saloon, Nigerian owned by that barbing saloon. We go there. So this police stopped me. He said, I went there to go and to buy drugs. I'm like, no, it's a barbering salon. I went to cut my hair. He said, oh, you're from Nigeria. You guys are drug dealers. Even though we're not drug dealers. Can you imagine it? Because the country we came from, we have leaders. There's corruption here too. Don't get me wrong. Their corruption is worse here, but if they're stealing $100, they already do something for 1,000. But in Nigeria, it's chop and claim out. They will steal everything and they will still stand. Like, yeah, I stole it. What are you gonna do to me? But that is over. We're not going back. If we come to harm, we're gonna take harm and face them. Because this is like you destroy our future in Nigeria. When you look at Nigeria, if you go to other countries in Africa, I traveled all over Africa. They treat us the same way. In West Africa, that's why I always look at people who've never been in Africa. They're like, oh, Nigerians are worse. I'll tell you this, sister. Nigerians are they still have mercy. Other West African countries, they are worse in corruption more than Nigeria. But guess what? Their government know there are people that these people, they don't take nonsense. When you cross Nigerian border to Cotonou immigration, once you send that Nigerian passport, they believe you have money. What they're going to show you, they will tell you, no, they want this money, they want this money. But how can we, a country that we have talent, let's talk about resources. Don't let us talk about resources we have. Let's talk about talent we have. Because ordinary Nigerians alone, they will teach themselves how to do something. That's one thing I like Nigerians for. Because they want the whole world to know them. But how can we have a talent, but we have a government that suppress us, that destroy our talent, destroy our livelihood, everything? How? Why did Nigerian government think we are stupid? Why did they think that we are stupid? Because you have police. Police is nothing. Because when it come down to when we leash everything, even the police is going to run. If you look at the police barrack in Ikeja, on what do they call it? You know that is it Okwebi area, Okwebi Highland? There is a police barracks there.
Yeah.
My sister, if you see that barrack, my dog can sleep in that barrack. You feel shame. My son, I took my son. He's 12 years old. That's the first time he's going to be in Nigeria last year. I took to Nigeria. My son like, what is this? I said, police barrack. He like, what? There is no roof. Can you imagine it? And people living there. I don't know why this police want to die for Nigerian government. Instead of you to turn your gun against them. Turn your gun against them. When you refuse to guide them, guess what? Everything will come to normal. But that's why I said Nigerian problem is a mindset. Because in Nigeria, like me and you now, we agree on something because we want progress. There are some Nigerians, they like to suffer. That's what fella calls smiling and suffering. They like to suffer. They don't like change. So when you look at people that are attacking people in Abuja today, why are you attacking protesters? They're fighting for the cause of everybody. For the good of everybody, they're fighting for. But you went to go and attack them. So those are the bad ones we're talking about. When they give them 1,000 naira, they say they are royal rogues to the federal government of Nigeria. So why are you attacking people that are fighting for change? But that's the problem. And if people that don't want change, they can go to Sambisa Forest. We can call it out of Nigeria. They can take it as their own country. If you want to go, if you don't want change in Nigeria, you don't want to move forward, go to inside the forest. We're going to give you another republic there. We're going to call it Poverty Republic. Go there and go and stay there. We don't want that in Nigeria anymore. But this government there's no going back, because what they're going to do, they're going to bring the army out. But guess what? The army is too. You have, what do they call it? You have a family that's civilian. So when you shoot.
And the whole essence of this move is not just even for the ordinary citizens, because like you rightly said, even the police officers, they are not well
they're not well paid
for the work they put in. They are not well compensated. Their conditions of service are very poor. Their living conditions are poor. So we are even asking for reforms for the Nigerian police force too, so that they'll be comfortable and serve us well without, this is transfer of aggression. Do not do this transfer of aggression on innocent citizens for the failures of the government to provide for them. So those are the things we are asking for the change. Another thing is that, like you rightly disappointed. Even the Nigerian military, there are personnel of the Nigerian military that feel disgruntled, especially those that have been posted to where there are insurgencies to go and fight. They are complaining that they are not well remunerated. They are putting in so much. The government is not paying attention to them. They are underfunded, they are under remunerated and all of that. So these are the things that protesters are addressing.
Yeah, but one thing is like the Nigerian army complains, Nigerian police complain they were not paid. But when was the day they're going to strike against these people? They are the one. It's like a man that abuse you all the time, but you complain they abuse you, but you still giving him sex. So when is it going to change? If Nigerian army and Nigerian police they really know that their condition is really, really worse, you know what they would do? They have a right to refuse. The whole your commander can punish you when the whole army turn their back against them. But when Nigerian army don't turn back, when the Nigerian police don't turn back, it's a joke. That's why I said it's a mindset. When everybody in Nigeria realize, like, you know what? Are we gonna be like this? Because if we don't be careful, these people don't give a damn about us. They have a foreign passport. Last month or something, when you see the list of Nigerian government officials that have a foreign passport, they all have a Caribbean passport. Can you imagine it? So they went to Caribbean to go and buy the passport. So when anything happened, they're just going to leave with their family. So ordinary Nigerians just going to be there and become what? And become slave to China. Because after Buhari sold the whole Nigeria to China. Because how can you, a country that have the resources, have everything, how can you borrow money? Borrowing money make it, even in West, where we live here, if you go to the bank, they look at your, they put your record, they know that you borrow money. It bring your credit down. When you borrow money, it's the slave mentality. Borrowing money. This is a slave mentality because it's going to set you back. Because China doesn't have your own good interest. They don't have interest of Nigeria. So how can you, right now, Chinese embassy in China closed, you know that? In Nigeria closed, they're not issuing visa for Nigeria, but Nigeria still give China visa on arrival. Why do you need them to visa on arrival? What do we need the Chinese in Nigeria for? They're creating job. What job? Job that they pay people 5,000 a month? That's not job. That's slavery.
Yeah, but those are those things. These old people in power in government, they do not understand. That's the frustration. That's the frustration that many Nigerians have. That a cake mentality that they have is what we are fighting to change. That they have to go so that we can see change, and we know that this change is not going to drop. So that's why people are fighting. That's why people are out. And like I said earlier, these protests don't look like they're going to end anytime soon. That's
No,
just
it's
the
not.
fact.
It's not, because when you
It's
look
not.
at it, when you look at it, they already push people to the wall. The level of sufferness in Nigeria is off the chain. I'm not going to lie to you. When Buhari came into power, US dollars was $140, right? Look at how much US dollars now. And you know, Nigeria, even though I have a project I'm doing in Nigeria, wherever I want to do the project, they will tell me, oh, I want to buy up cement. Cement goes up because everything is dollar. Everything is dollar. So can you imagine it? Level of, what do they call it? It's like sometimes in Nigeria, they turn people to beggar. People beg you for money. Oh, can I have this? Can I have this? You feel like, what kind of country is this? But it's not the citizen of Nigeria's fault. But we just have all this, like old fools, like you said. They don't see good in our people. They don't see good in Nigerian citizens. They believe like, oh, let's just ruin their life and borrow money. But when you borrow money with your family, you run away. Remember, when you die, we don't want your body in Nigeria. You understand what I'm saying?
They brought it in their pockets. That's just the fact.
And if you, like me now, I live in Canada, but this is not, I'm here by privilege. It's not my right. It's not my country. Nigeria is my right. It's my country. So whatever we're doing, like even when you go to Nigerian embassy here, they have the same bad. One day I said, how come Nigerians only choose bad people to represent her? Can you imagine this summer past?
That's a problem.
Wife,
it's not like we lack good people. There are good people in this country, well qualified, well trained people.
Yeah.
But because they don't somebody, this know somebody mentality. They probably don't know somebody, so they will not be given the opportunity based on merit. They'll bring people who are not qualified, poor ambassadors of the country, and put them in those sort of key important positions to represent us, and then they represent us very poorly. Those are the problems that we're.
Look at the old guy, almost 100 years old guy, Nigerian ambassador to United States. Can you imagine it? That one Igbo man like this, Buhari choose as ambassador. The man is using walking stick is going to die soon. Nigerian ambassador, can you imagine it? So where are the young talents? Where are people like you that know what is going on in the whole world? What is 80-something years old man? What did he want? What did he know about Nigerian affairs? These people are where they are taking us to graveyard. That's where they're taking us, because they're not taking us anywhere. So can you imagine it? They have all this. When you go to Nigerian embassy all over the world, you like, they collect money every month. They don't fix it. All the embassy staff, they are corrupt. They are, what do they call it? In this past summer, I was supposed to go to Nigeria with my family. Out of my house is my wife. That only my wife don't have a Nigerian passport. All my kids, they have Nigerian passport. So I sent my wife passport to Nigerian embassy in Ottawa, in Canada. So when I called them, COVID-19 started. They told me, oh, I can send a passport. They would do it express. I should pay $300. Do you know I paid them the $300? Guess when we get the passport back? Since March. She just got the passport back last week, and they put 3 months visa that's going to expire next month. Can you imagine it? But they call it the $300 when the passport, what did they call it? When the passport fee is only $90. The fee for the visa is $90, but they charge $300. But can you imagine it? So last month, maybe you don't hear in Nigeria. Do you know Nigerians went to there to go and destroy the whole embassy? Nigerians that live in Canada, they didn't publish it. Nobody here in Nigeria. If you see what they do there, they beat the embassy workers. Nigerians here, they went to that embassy because they don't give them the passport. They destroy the whole embassy. They have to call the police on there for restraint. If they injure like two of the embassy workers, they injure like 2 of them, because
Virtue, I'm around.
Philemon.
Can you hear me?
Philemon, you want? Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great. My brother has really spoken a lot, and I'm really happy with what he's saying, because Africa, we need a reform, and it really hurts that as an African, you go to your neighbor's country and there are some certain things you can do, which it's very hurtful. Example like this, I learned that as in Kenya or Uganda, one of them, you can't send money or receive money in the country with a Nigerian passport, and that's very sad. That is very sad. A friend of mine was in Kenya, and because West Africans, our passport is green. It has the same looks, just that every passport and its name on it, whether Nigeria,
the ECOWAS passport.
This guy wanted to receive money, and they said their link is not working. So it was one guy who asked the person that, what passport are you using? Then he said he's using a Ghanaian passport. They allowed him to withdraw the money. And later they told him that they are not allowing Nigerians to withdraw money in Kenya unless you have someone that is going to use his passport as an collateral or something to back you up in Africa. And it's very sad. So when you travel to a place like Kenya as a Nigerian and you don't know anybody in any bank, trust me, you can't. Even if they send you $3 billion, you can't withdraw it. You can't, because they feel that, yes, West Africans, I remember even with this YouTube issue, these same Africans came that West Africans are like this, they are very harsh, but it's not like the way they think. This is our nature. I have never seen a West African being played dull. You know, West Africans actually we are very vibrant. Like we don't waste time on things. We work effectively. We are not lazy.
Yeah.
But every day, you know, we keep facing problems because people don't understand how some people live their life and how people talk. You know, and it's hurting. I think most national TV stations should start educating people when it comes to how to talk, like human rights. You know, I know a man in Ghana here who is a big man. You know, he drives these luxurious cars. He works as he's a government worker, and he doesn't know anything about the constitution. Even we have university students in Ghana here who have no idea about what the constitution talks about because they won't teach you this. So every time when a policeman stops you on the way, you feel you are offended, you get confused. You know, you get confused. There are some petty things that we know that, yeah, this is my right, this is my right. But apart from that, nothing else. You know, apart from that, nothing else. So I feel that with our little effort, we can also educate people in some ways with our channels and other things. We can educate people, and also not just we educating, but I think the youths of Africa should come into existence of thinking very deep. You know, when you create good content for Africans, they hardly watch it. Trust me. They want something that they can smile, they can laugh. And this is one
Yeah.
of the things that is weakening them. So since with during this lockdown till now, I always say that Ghana is a country where when an issue comes out, they politicize it or they make it a joke. Yeah, these are the two things in my country right now. They don't take anything serious. You know, when someone commits something, when someone does something which is above the law, which is not right, they now refer the person to be the person is having a brain problem, the person is mad, so they should leave him. These are the excuses that has been happening in this country. You know, when someone does something very bad, instead of taking the person to court, they say, hey, he has a mental issue, so let's just allow him. Then the case becomes a foolish case, which is very bad. You know, and it has happened severally, consistently. You know, so I think Africans, we need to be very educated. You know, we go to schools, they teach us what we are supposed to know. That is not what they tell us. What we are supposed to know, they don't really tell us what we are supposed to know. They just give us the books to read and pass our exams. That is all. But they don't teach us how to live with it in the society. That is why
Yeah.
you can see someone with good grades with coming out as a lawyer, but the person is very corrupt because whatever the person went to learn, he didn't learn it well, or he was not taught well. You know. So this
Yeah.
is the little I have, and I can, you know, support you with it. And I think we should end SARS. You know, end SARS now, not today or tomorrow. It should be now. You know,
Yes.
end SARS. I don't agree with them replacing SARS with SWAT. Or is it SWAT, or it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. You know,
Doesn't.
and it is this. It's just like you graduating from a senior high, putting your uniforms down, and now wearing a mufti. It's the same person.
Yeah.
They are just changing their
Yes.
clothes and their name. You
Yes.
know.
Exactly. Exactly.
Sure.
Right.
So
Thank you
thank you,
so
thank you
much.
very much for having me.
Yes. I
Yeah.
appreciate your
Thank you.
contributions. Thank you.
All right. All right.
Okay. Truth matter.
You say, like what he said, like the way we treat ourselves in Nigeria, that's how the foreigners look at us and treat us. I'll give you an example. If you travel very well, coming to Nigeria, when I left Canada, you will see the nicest plane that will fly you to Europe. But from Europe to Nigeria, the worst of the worst plane. I swear to God, last year, my son, we were on British Airways. You know what my son said? He said, Daddy, damn, what kind of garbage plane is this? The plane was so dirty, and the air hostess will be talking to you anyhow, because you know why? Because they know that we have an irresponsible government. If you see the plane, even the TV is not even working on the plane. There was one time I was going to Nigeria to a Lufthansa. They didn't give me no food. And I was asking this lady. She told me like, oh, it's a complimentary. I said, what do you mean? I pay for this. Can you imagine it? They didn't even give me food. They're like, oh, there's nothing they can do. So they treat you anyhow. Even though when you get to Europe, you will see what if the plane has a fault. You own a foreign passport, they lodge everybody in a hotel. People that have Nigerian passport, guess where they stay? They keep them at the airport. It happened in France 2 years ago when I was going to Nigeria on Air France. Because I went to Nigeria, I always travel to Nigeria every 9 months. Because of the COVID-19, that's why I didn't come to Nigeria this year. Every 9 months, I travel to Nigeria. Sister, you will be crying like, is it a cost to be a Nigerian? Because our government don't stand.
Our government doesn't care about our safety. Our government does not care about regulating all of these operations within the country, so they can do those things and go with impunity. And that's the reflection. Those are the things that have really gotten us upset. If our government is not treating us well, there's no way the international community will treat us well.
No way. Can you imagine it? In France, we're at Paris, where Charles de Gaulle Airport, we're staying there, and they just announced that the plane is not going to Nigeria. The plane, that they have to. Do you know I have a Canadian passport? I show them my passport, they lodge me in a hotel. Everybody that has Nigerian passport, they pay the same money that I paid. The same money someone who hold British passport, somebody who hold American passport pay. They keep them at the airport to sleep there till the next day that we're going to fly to Nigeria. They kept them at the airport because they have Nigerian passport. So can you imagine it? So it's going to break your heart. Like, I have a Nigerian passport too, but because I'm coming from Canada, I use my Canadian passport to leave Canada, Nigerian passport to enter Nigeria. Can you imagine that we are there? They lodge us in a hotel. So I have to talk to one of the, what do they call their agents there? I said, this is not right. These people pay the same money. She told me, oh, they don't have they have only airport transit. They don't have a transit. I said, but he said, you're okay, you're Canadian. I said, no, I'm a Nigerian too. He said, oh, but you carry Canadian passport. So can you imagine it? So when you travel a lot, even in Germany, one year I was coming from Nigeria, they came on the plane. Can you see how very insultive that is? As soon as our plane land 5 o'clock in the morning in Germany, the immigration already ran the plane up. The plane coming from Nigeria. What did they do? They stand at the front of the entrance door like this, and they come one by one, checking everybody's passport. Everybody that has Nigerian passport and have visa, they question them. Like me now, when you show them your foreign passport, they will just say, oh, they don't even look at they don't even open my passport. They just tell me, oh, Canadian, have a nice day, sir, go. But because we have a bad leader. But when these people now come to our own land, you give them a red carpet. Can you imagine it?
The other day I was so upset. Okay, the day we flew from Lagos to Calabar, we landed at the airport in Calabar, and then there were these white people, about two white people that landed with us. They were on the same flight with us. They landed, so some people were obviously coming to pick them. I saw about 3 police officers, heavily armed, that went to the airport to escort them in convoy. And I was just there like, and they were blaring the siren. I was like, what on earth is this rubbish? I was like, if you go to these people's countries now, they are just common human beings, common citizens in their countries. But when you go to Nigeria, red carpet, security, escorting them and making them feel like demigods, and that's how our people look at them and think that these people are more than us. But the reverse is the case. These same police officers are the ones that are brutalizing us as citizens in this country, but they're the ones escorting foreigners, giving them special treatment. What Nigerians do not enjoy in other parts of the world. These are the things I want to change.
I've been here for 21 years. 21 years I've been living here in Canada. I work with the government, right? Even sometimes my coworker, they said something which is very racist. Do you know, even though if I report them to the manager or something, They were like, oh, they were just joking. But let me say something about them. They will reprimand me. If it doesn't matter, you have a Canadian passport. They don't. They will tell you, oh, you have an equal right. When it comes to you and them, you have no right. They always, even though when there's nobody's there, it's only you and one of the white people. They will cite. They will say, oh, technically, because here they use statistics to send black men to jail. They will say by statistics, black men are dead. Can you imagine it? But when they come to our whole land, oh, we see them in Yibo Pepe, in Yibo, as if they are God. You understand what I'm saying? And we have a bad government too. They bring a lot of people from Canada that they are even high school. They are mechanics here. They will bring them as expatriates in Nigeria. But along the day, who do the job? It's Nigerians that do the job. This white people don't even do nothing. It's Nigerians that are doing that job. So why you don't invest in your own skill? At the end of the day, it's Nigerians that are going to do the job. What did this guy you bring just to give them order? Colonial mentality. That's why I said mindset. Because that colonial mentality is still affecting us in Nigeria. We don't see. That's why we are so blind. Because anything that is anything that is foreign is better. Anything that is made in Nigeria is not good. It's fake. How can it be fake? I bought some stuff here. Sometimes the one in Nigeria is better than what they call it. Because we don't have a good government. They don't put money into so many programs. When they put money into education, a lot of programs, research, everything. Can you imagine that? That's like you said, two Nigerians sold a company for $200 million. So how come the white people can't build it? But it's Nigeria, it's a black brain that built that. But if those guys already been shot by SARS, like you said, this dream will not be accomplished. But because we have these people, Nigerian government need to check, what do they call it? We have these people because police. We have too many police in Nigeria. How do we want to pay for them? Even when you go to the airport, there's so many people work at Nigerian airport. How did Nigerian government ask revenue to pay for all this tout, all this non-entity that work at the airport? How can you have like 400 custom, 400, what do they call it, NDLA? Even in advanced country, in Canada, it's only one person that do the jobs. They have computers everywhere. If I'm coming back to Canada, I don't have to speak immigration. I go through the computer and put my passport in. And if there's a problem, somebody will cross me in the front and talk to me. But in Nigeria, we just, even though when you travel, when you land in Nigeria, there's one stupid person checking your passport. What kind of job those people are doing? Who is paying them? If you remember when you went to, they will be checking your passport like this before they refer you to go to immigration to go and stamp your passport. Those people are there. But we always take nonsense in Nigeria. We take it as a pride. Because now, I don't see this youth going back. Because this government, we're not going to let it go. Because people will like, you know what? This is it. Because this is a momentum. And this is what do they call it? This momentum is not going to stop. If we let it stop, they're going to walk over us. Because they keep on increasing everything, increasing it. How come Buhari come out today and said, oh, the electricity tariff, they're gonna suspend it? Can you see the tactics?
I paid for electricity units the same amount I normally pay for a month. I paid the same amount. They gave me half the units, half the unit. I don't even want to talk about all those things today. Like it's look at people are sleeping outside day and night protesting. This is
because they are fed up. It's their future. There's nothing bad in people fighting for their own future.
Like my network is even freezing. So, in fact, they think they are imposters. They're saviors, but in fact, they're colonizers. So, it seems he has frozen. Fam, let me know if you can still hear me. Thank you all so much for coming. Okay, so I want to round up. It's midnight. Go to
Thank
bed.
you very much. I appreciate what you're doing. May God give grace to your elbow. I hope when all this pandemic come down, I will come to Nigeria. We're gonna see, because with this Nigerian government, we don't know. They want to do 2 COVID tests before you can come. So I can come over there. You know how Nigeria, they can say, oh, you didn't pass the test, because they want to rip you off. Yes. That's why I said I'm gonna take my time, because I always come every 9 months to Nigeria. But I really appreciate you. I always watch your program. I really appreciate what you're doing. More grace to your elbow. And thank you very much. Have a good night. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Okay. Anne asked a question, so I'll quickly answer Anne before I go to bed. I'll log off and go to bed. Anne says, "Hi, Virtue Grace. Didn't like the title. Why is having dreadlocks significant? Please, can we see beyond this?" That's exactly why I put the caption the way I put it, because having dreadlocks in Nigeria now is becoming a problem. We are talking about police brutalities, and people who have dreadlocks are being targeted by, or were being targeted by the defunct SARS, the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, that a unit of the Nigerian Police Force that was set up to tackle issues of armed robbery, kidnapping, and other violent crimes within the country. But this same government or police unit that was set up to protect us as citizens are now extorting us. There have been allegations of indiscriminate arrest, extortion, extrajudicial killings, and brutalities by these members of this SARS unit. So one thing is, if they see you as a Nigerian, especially a Nigerian youth male with dreadlocks, they automatically assume that you're a criminal. So they profile you, and they brutalize you and all. If they see you with a laptop, it becomes something else. And I don't know, we don't know why carrying a laptop should be a crime, why having dreadlocks should make you predisposed to being profiled as a criminal in the country. But if you look at the story of these two young men on the thumbnail, these are two young Nigerians, one with dreadlocks and one with without dreadlocks. These are citizens who built up a financial tech company from scratch. One having dreadlocks, the other one not having. All they needed to build up their fintech was a laptop, and the other one had dreadlocks. But they used their skills, they used their knowledge and expertise to build up a fintech company from scratch. And today, as we speak, they've sold this company to an American company called Stripes. By the way, the fintech company that they built is yeah, like I said, it's a fintech company, so you can use it to send and receive money. The company is called Paystack. you know Today they've sold that Paystack to Stripes at the cost of $200 million. So that's why I put the caption that way and put their pictures there, to debunk this stereotype that the Nigerian police force is forcing on youth in the country, that because you have dreadlocks, you are disposed to being profiled as a criminal. Because you carry laptop, you are you are a criminal. That's not the case. That's the narrative we are fighting to change. That's why Nigerians are sleeping on the streets protesting that this SARS should be ended, even though the government has made an announcement that the unit, SARS as a unit of the Nigerian police force, has been dissolved. We are not satisfied. Youth have made demands of the government to put in place, investigate the allegations that have been brought against these police officers, and make sure that they are prosecuted and justice is served to the families of the victims, compensations and all. And the Nigerian youth are calling for reforms. Not only youth, even other well-meaning Nigerians of the other generation, they are calling for reforms of the Nigerian police force, so that the police officers serving in the Nigerian police force will be well remunerated and cared for, so that they can serve us, protect lives and property, without transferring aggressions of the failures of the government to us citizens. All we want to do is to live and thrive in our country, to go about our businesses. Youth are using their skills. Countless youth have been killed for no reason whatsoever. So that's why I put the caption there. Having dreadlocks is not a crime, and carrying a laptop is not a crime. Nigerian police force should let us live and thrive in our country. Look at the success story that has come out of two young Nigerians, one wearing dreadlocks, who built a company using a computer. Today, they've made 200 million US dollars, the money that the government would have never given them in their life, the money that their generation has probably not seen. you know. So imagine the countless number of Nigerian youth that have been killed by these officers of the Nigerian police force, these SARS officers, the potentials have been cut short and sent to an early grave. That's why we are protesting. And like I said earlier, before I go, if you're a Nigerian, even if you are not a Nigerian, you are a human being, please join in this protest. Join the conversation on Twitter. Retweet. If you don't know what to tweet, retweet the tweets that other people have tweeted. Let's amplify this campaign. Let's gather international attention. Let's secure it on this. So that's why. Okay, Anne says, thanks for putting into context. This is the height of idiocy. It's like living in Babylon. Exactly, that's it. We need God to help us. So my friend's family with dreadlock will just avoid visiting Nigeria. Exactly, please sound like simpletons. That's the issue. That's it. Because there are some families that are born with dreads, that dreadlocks run in their families. And I said it earlier. I grew up with some children who were born with dreadlocks. Their hair was growing and all of a sudden it became dreads, and that's it. It's not like they did anything. So for those people, if they do not want to change their or shave it, some people, even when they shave it, it still grows back as dreads. So does that make them criminals? No. So that's the essence of the conversation. Even though for me personally, I would have preferred that these two brothers kept their company, grew it to become a multinational or at least a Pan-African business, that would employ not only Nigerians but other Africans across the continent. Just the way we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have YouTube and all of these things. But hey, they sold it because the government, for one, is not going to support them to grow this company to whatever levels they want to. And this is the lack of support that makes some people make hasty decisions. Because they've come with this sort of offer to them, and to them it's a huge amount of money. So hey, let's do this deal. But we don't know, because the future is tech. That's the truth. The future is tech. So imagine what that company would have become. It's a 5-year-old company, but imagine what the company would have become in 10 years' time, or in the next 5 years. But hey, they've sold it. So the essence was just to call our attention to that narrative that they have dreads, they use the laptop, so it is not a crime. Let us live and thrive in this country. Yes, so someone said, this is better. Tell us what you need and we can help. So what we need is just for you to join the campaign, join this protest and help us, join the conversation, retweet. Let's amplify the campaign. Let's amplify the protest, because I know that the only reason why the Nigerian government is being responsive, albeit very slow and uncoordinated, and haven't really secured the trust of Nigerians that they're actually going to do anything tangible, is because the protest is galvanizing international attention. So the government is seemingly becoming responsive. So join us, retweet, use the hashtag #EndSARS, end police brutality, and let me put the I don't know why my key is not giving me the hashtag. Each time I press, it's another sign that comes up. But join the conversation. Thank you, Chariot Train. Thank you for coming. So join the conversation with the hashtag #EndSARS, #EndSWOT, End Police Brutality in Nigeria, Reform Nigerian Police Force. Those are the hashtags that you can use to join the conversation so that we can amplify the campaign. That's how much you can help us. And then you can go to Project Protect NG. It's an NGO, it's an organization that is mobilizing funds to support the protesters. Like I said earlier, we have protesters who are being fed by Nigerians. So Nigerians, some well-meaning, good-spirited Nigerians cook food and take to these protesters who are on the field protesting. They're giving out free airtime so that they can subscribe and have access to the internet to keep tweeting and retweeting. So those are some of the ways you can assist. If you're a Nigerian, you are in the country, you are a medical personnel, you can also volunteer. There are medical personnel who are volunteering their medical expertise. to provide first aid and other medical services to protesters who require the service while they are protesting. We also have lawyers who are volunteering their legal expertise, providing pro bono services to protesters who maybe get arrested while protesting or get into any form of legal issues. So that's how you can assist if you're a Nigerian on the ground to volunteer as a medical doctor or just any volunteer whatever skill you feel is relevant in the protest. Those are some of the things you can do to assist. So you can go to Project Protect NG and make a donation there. So like money, thank you so much for putting it. Let me paste it on the screen. So they are mobilizing money. They are mobilizing funds to sustain the protest, especially for those who maybe require money for bail and all. The funds are pulled out so ahead from the resources that are being mobilized to pay their bail fees and all. And for those who require further medical attention, the money is used to pay their medical bills and all of those things. Another thing I even forgot, mechanics. There are mechanics who are also volunteering their skills. So maybe someone's car gets damaged in the process of protesting and all. The mechanics are volunteering their skills free of charge to fix the cars. I mean, it's a good time to be alive and to be witnessing this. Now more than ever, I'm so proud to be a Nigerian. Just the unity that we are experiencing with this protest is unparalleled. I'm proud, and I love the support that Nigerian celebrities are giving to the whole protest and mobilizing and sustaining it. So join us in the protest. This is a fight for all of us as Africans. Trust me, if we succeed in changing things in Nigeria and getting our systems to work right there, it's going to be a walkover in other African countries. That's it. Professor PLO Lumumba once says that the day Nigeria wakes up, Africa will not be the same. And I'm so glad that Nigeria is finally waking up. And our people normally say the day you wake up is your morning, or the time you wake up is your morning. So now that Nigerian youth are waking up, the youth are the future of this country, of this continent, please, youth in other African countries, do the same, wake up. Don't let fear hold you down in this perpetual oppression. Wake up, speak up, unite. There's power in unity and there's power in numbers, in strength. Unite, take actions, demand accountability from your government. Whatever it is you need to be changed in your country, do. Look at what youth in Mali did, So let's all take action together. Thank you all so much for coming. I appreciate you. We've been up for about 2 hours now. So I would like to go off now and sleep. Tomorrow I'll be live on the protest ground to bring you, coverage from the protest ground and all. So I need to catch my sleep. Now it's 12:18 a.m. That's how far the night is spent. Yes, let's unite. Let's unite. It's important for us to unite. Mira, hey Mira, fine dear, welcome. I was talking. You probably just joined a while ago. Watch a news. We've had people who joined me on the conversation. I'm just doing the closing, recap of the whole conversation we've had this evening. So that's why you might need to watch the replay to see and hear the other perspective that the other members of the panel brought. Okay, so yeah, I read that. Yeah, thank you all so much. Thank you, Chariot Rain. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. You live up to your name, Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, America. Thank you. Thank you so much. Temilade, thank you so much. So these are the hashtags that you can join in the conversation. I'm going to leave it on the screen. So you can join the conversation. Let me see if I can copy. Okay, I'm going to add it in the description box when I put up this stream, so that anyone who wants to join can join. JJ Gaddafi, thank you. Thank you so much, brother. I love you. All right, fam. Thank you all so much for tuning in. God willing, we'll do this stream tomorrow. If you don't see me live tomorrow, then know that I'm at the protest. If it's possible, I'll do a live stream from the protest ground. Otherwise, I'll just record videos and then share them with you subsequently. So keep your fingers crossed, turn on your post notifications, and remember to share this video, share the stream, let people watch and come, be informed about what is happening in Nigeria and how they can also join in this fight for freedom. So take care. I'll see you all in my next video. Stay safe, be healthy, and be law abiding. I love you all so much.